BD4L, Bulldogs for Life.
The tried and true saying that unites Irvington students, parents, and teachers into one cohesive mass of school spirit, town pride, and the color green. But the Bulldog mascot is about as common as the melody to Go Big Green. From Albuquerque High School to Sir Winston Churchill High School to less well-known institutions, you can find the Bulldog. But not just any design, our exact design. So I set out to find out why.
As I began my investigation, I turned my attention to Martin Resendez, Physical Education Department Chair and teacher at Irvington for over 20 years.
So I've been a senior here for a while, and I noticed recently that the Bulldog that we have is kind of the Bulldog for a lot of other schools.
It does. It looks similar to like many of the logos and mascots.
Yeah. So I have some here today. So this is our Bulldog, right?
This is our current one. So this one was changed within the last, I want to say, 3 years.
Okay.
So we've used this logo, and this is the one that was used to paint on the new floor in the campus gym, as well as the field.
Okay. So then I have some other Bulldogs here. And these aren't from our school, but
it's a striking resemblance.
They look like they are.
So I would say these logos are probably, I'm not sure if there's a trademark infringement, but I'm not sure who owns the rights to them. But yes, they're very similar, and I believe just different color tones, right? But you'll notice like on the Gonzaga, there's a little detail within the collar and not so much on the Melbourne and the North Babylon.
But they're so similar that, it seems, I don't know, it seems strange. Like
Does it seem like it's taken from somewhere?
Yes, it did seem taken from somewhere. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized it was. After a 2-hour car ride, myself, my cameraman, and my puppet arrived at the nation's 4th oldest college, a school credited with having the first mascot, Yale University. Double check my question. This is the first interview I'm doing here.
Oh, wait, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is actually my school's Bulldog.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So, when did Yale become the Bulldogs, and what was the first Bulldog at Yale?
Okay, I don't. What? I don't think anybody on campus knows that. I can tell you who the Bulldog is.
Okay.
Handsome Dan.
I don't know this question. I know Handsome Dan is our current.
While most credit former Yale student Andrew Graves' Handsome Dan as the first mascot at Yale, the story actually goes back a little further, to 1890, when Harper the English Bulldog arrived on the scene. Harper was the first Bulldog used at Yale, and likely the first school mascot. So the Yale Bulldog arrived years before any other Bulldog. Before Spike the Bulldog, before Jack the Bulldog, before Butler Blue, and even before Ugga, which means it's the first Bulldog. And Yale's popularity led to the Bulldog mascot being used by 43 colleges and over 800 high schools. Mascots started as live animals. However, as time went on, mascots changed from 2-dimensional and then to 3-dimensional designs. The work of the Muppets and Jim Henson in the 1960s actually helped revolutionize this mascot change. The Muppets...
No, I got this.
Okay.
The arrival of the Muppets really changed how the public perceived mascots. Cute and furry designs grew more popular. Some of the first 3-dimensional Muppet-like mascot suits were Mr. Met of the New York Mets and Brutus Buckeye of the Ohio State Buckeyes in 1964 and 1965, respectively. Additionally, friendly costumed mascots were highly marketable, which led to mascots gaining even more popularity outside the sports world.
At Yale, we uncovered the source of the Bulldog mascot, but we still didn't know where our current design is from and why we have it. To answer this question, I went to the Irvington Public Library and met with Chet Kerr of the Irvington Historical Society.
This was from the 1954, but it's a first picture of the original Irvington High School, the first high school football team.
My meeting with Mr. Kerr was mostly successful. With his help, as well as the Irvington Village historian, I was able to identify the first time Irvington High School was referred to as the Bulldogs in print, which was in a 1938 edition of the Irvington Gazette. However, I still didn't know how we got the Bulldog design we have. As I left the library without an answer to my question, I felt defeated. But an old Irvington motto I found in a 1954 yearbook stood out in my mind. Per aspera ad astra. Through hardships to the stars. Well, here right now was a hardship.
but I was in it to reach the mascot heavens. And I did, with help from Tom and Jerry. On April 18, 1942, the Tom and Jerry cartoon Dog Trouble premiered and forever changed the Bulldog mascot. It featured Spike Bulldog, a character who MGM and Disney animator Preston Blair used in his 1948 book, Animation. The first edition of the book had a page detailing different ways to draw Spike. However, Blair's rights to use Spike and other copyrighted characters were revoked, and the second edition of the book was published in 1949. This version had an alternate Spike design that was legal to use and generic, and as I looked at this design I realized it was our Bulldog. We now knew the source of our Bulldog, but one question still remained. How did this design get everywhere?
The book manufacturer, the publisher. The publisher would have probably given them maybe, oh, here are, certain ones we use for, schools that have Bulldog as their mascot, and you pick which one you want to have.
Mascot logo books, or spirit catalogs as they're commonly referred to, likely incorporated Blair's Bulldog design into their catalogs, and schools, like ours, used these for inspiration when creating their own brands and logos.
So to put this in the simplest terms, or the most convenient definition,
we have a mascot shared by hundreds of other schools. But what we found is that our design is a cultural icon, a classic character, and a concept 130 plus years in the making. To all the schools out there that know this motto, or other Bulldogs out there who might learn it, BD4L, Bulldogs for life.
I think, I just want to see where it goes, ask other people, investigate Big Mascot a little.
All right, yeah, get into that.
Big high school mascot.
Yeah, let us know if we can get like a piece of that somehow, some way.